guys, it's Lindsay from the Craft Studio. I am so excited to be bringing this awesome rainbow horse with a rainbow mane craft to you with our friends at the Playroom. I wish I could be there crafting in person with you guys, but this is the next best thing. And I love this project so much. And you guys, I hope I make you giggle while you craft today, because something silly. The Craft Studio goes out to Long Island during the summer and we teach classes there. So I'm here today and I have all the art supplies, but I forgot some of the things I needed to shoot your video. So we're gonna show how you can get crafty, and even though I might have supplies a little different from you, you guys have the real deal ones, you'll see that we can be flexible and make it work, which is a good lesson, I think, in crafts and in life. So let's get started. You guys should have your piece of paper first, and you guys are gonna use watercolors, which watercolors is something that I forgot, but I'm gonna use regular paints, and we are going to get started by painting our beautiful horse. I'm gonna grab my paintbrush, and what I wanna show you guys in this project is that we can use basic shapes to be able to draw and design things that might be intimidating for us to draw just freehand. Like I always say, I am crafty, but I am not the best artist. So painting a horse would be like, whoa, scary to me. But if we break it down by doing shapes, we can really make it happen. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use purple as the base of my horse. And I know I have regular poster paints and you guys have watercolors. So remember, when you're using watercolors, the less water you use, the darker the color will show up. If you want it to be light, you use lots of water. So I think since we're drawing the outlines of this right now, we should maybe make it darker. So add a little less water than you normally would. And the first shape we're gonna do, and I'm gonna hold it up after I do it, is a basic triangle, like this, which is gonna become our horse's head. I'm gonna fill it in like so. Boo, boo, boo. Good work. And I don't have a skinny brush, so my lines are not as precise, but I kind of like that. It's like abstract. And artists, remember, there are no mistakes in art, and perfect is boring. So if your project looks a little different than mine, that's what makes art so unique. So now I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna do a rectangle to be the horse's body. And I'll show you first, which a rectangle has one long side and then another long side, and then it has two short lines on top and bottom. So that's the next shape I did. See? Doo-doo-doo. I'm gonna paint that rectangle in. And then I am going to paint 4 long rectangles that are gonna be the unicorns, or sorry, I keep calling it a unicorn. It can be a unicorn if you want. I know we called it a horse, but they're gonna be the legs. So I'm gonna do 4 down from the big rectangle. And I'm gonna do shorties first, because I'm gonna then connect another rectangle to make it longer. But I've got like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 more rectangles. Then to make our legs look longer, I'm gonna create an angle and do 4 more. And what's cool is like one brush stroke, like I just did, kind of creates a rectangle. See that? 1, 2, it looks like the horse is running. 3, 4. Doo-doo-doo. All right, you guys, so now with our 4 legs, I'm gonna make another kind of dash mark to be the horse's ear. And if thinking about it as a shape, it's almost like another triangle, right? I'm gonna make it a little flatter so you can see. Doop. And now we're gonna get ready to do our rainbow mane. Now, I don't have rainbow strips. It's another silly thing that I forgot, but look what I did, guys. I got creative and I colored strips of paper. But what we can do first, before we do that, is we can paint on in rainbow order so we know where to kind of glue on our stuff, the paint colors, and you have watercolors. So for my mane, I know that I want to start with the first color of the rainbow, which, do you guys remember what that is? If you said red, you're right. I'm gonna grab my red paint and I'm gonna do some red hair. And I want this horse to have a big, wild mane. So I'm just doing lots of brush strokes like this, and then we'll glue our tissue paper on top of it. So I have red, next comes orange, and because I'm going in rainbow order, I'm not rinsing my brush in between colors. And I know you have watercolors, same thing. It kind of is cool because, you know, they're next to each other in the color wheel, so they're not gonna turn brown. They're not like complementary colors that look good next to each other. They're across each other on the color wheel, but they would cancel and make brown. But because we're going in rainbow order, they're gonna mix well if they show up. Like, look, I just did my yellow and it mixed with the orange a little because there's orange on my paintbrush, but it looks great. After yellow comes green. And then I have to leave a space where I'm gonna glue on my blue because I accidentally, guys, don't have blue paint. See, I told you this is an art adventure. So I'm gonna leave a space for my blue, and then I'm gonna go back to my purple. Boop-a-doo. And then I'm just gonna also do like a purple tail. And maybe I'll add some red too. Go back to the beginning. Boop. Okay, there we are. Now I'm gonna take a color that's light and add on an eye and paint on like that snout, which this is gonna be easier for you guys because you have watercolors. You could do like a darker color over. I'm gonna pick a lighter color and just dot it on, a yellow for the eye. And for the snout, I'm gonna cover up the bottom point of the triangle like this to be the horse's snout, like so. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, good work. Now we're gonna get ready to do our gluing. And the first thing is you guys should have some green tissue paper strips. And what's so cool is if you want, just like we did with our horse, if you want to add some watercolored green first, you can take, and to do grass on the bottom, you just do short little brush strokes like this. I'll show you. Good work. And then you can go back through and take your tissue paper and rip it or crunch it. And with your glue, you might have to let it dry a little bit, but you can go back over the top and add the 3D element of the green grass. You can rip it and crunch that tissue. And the same thing with your hair. What you can do is you can take your glue, and I'm using a paintbrush to apply my glue, and you can do dots after the paint has dried a little bit. You can do dots of glue where you're gonna add the actual tissue paper pieces to your rainbow mane. So I'm gonna start with my blue because that's the color I was missing. And I'm gonna add blue paper, which you can crunch, you can do whatever you guys want to give it some texture. And the tissue paper will stick really nicely. Again, you guys probably wanna wait a minute until your paint is a little dry. I'm twisting and crunching and putting the orange, twisting and crunching, putting the red, twisting and crunching and adding some more orange. And it just adds such a cool texture and makes our artwork multimedia. That means we're using all different types of art materials, not just the paint. And we're creating texture and depth, so it feels like our picture can come alive. All right, now I'm gonna add glue for my grass. I'm gonna do a little dots now that this paint has dried a little. And then I'm also gonna add glue for the sky, which if you guys want, you can pre-paint the white like with shades of blue. But I am gonna rip up my blue paper and add a mosaic sky. I'm gonna add blue randomly all over in pieces. And it's gonna be amazing. Okay, let me just add my 3D grass here and there. Love it. I'll show you how it's looking with all these 3D elements. Look at my mane. My horse is popping off the picture. All right, now I'm gonna add that blue. And remember, maybe you guys wanna add a unicorn horn. So fun, and there's so many different things you can do to make this picture unique and special. My ideas are just kind of to give you guys some guidance and a thought of where to take your artistic eye and twist it and change it and make the project your own. All right, guys, I'll show you where I am so far, and you can add as much or as little of this blue sky as you want. And when you are all done, you will have something that is amazing and creative and all your own, and this is what mine is. Yay! Thanks for bearing with me today when I forgot some of my supplies. I had Silly-O's for breakfast that make me silly. Anyways, say hi to Nadia and Ben and Jackie and all my friends at the playroom. I'm so happy to have seen you guys. I wish I could do this in person. If you craft, maybe have your friends at the house take a picture and they can show it to me. Until next time, guys, have a great day.
Crafters, guess what? This is such a silly day. I forgot about the cotton that's in your bags. That is so you can stretch it out and glue it on top of that blue mosaic sky to be fluffy clouds to even add more texture. Silly me. We all have those days, right? Have fun, and I can't wait to craft with you again soon. Bye, everyone.